We are live. And I've got Becky, my lovely friend Becky. Thinking of you. Summertime, think it was June. Yeah, think it was June. Laying back, head on the grass, chewing gum, having some laughs. Yeah, having some laughs. Made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one. Made me feel like the one. Made me feel like the one. The one. And I'm going to stop there. Becky, how the devil are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for playing that song. Just such great memories.
It's a brilliant song. We end our gigs with that song, and everybody is up. Everybody's singing along, and I get them to do the finger thing. So when I go, you're the one, and they all do that. So why did you choose that song?
Well, I could have chosen so many different songs, but I spend a lot of time driving from one client to another, from one photo shoot to another, or training course, and that often pops up on my playlist. And when I sent this through to you, I said as a joke, we should probably put Wham! Last Christmas, because that is also one of my favorites. And you said no, not at the moment, it's still September, so maybe I'll come back at Christmas and we can have that one. But it's just a great feel-good song, and it's, you know, towards the end of the summer now, and it just feels really good. So thank you for that.
No, not a problem at all. And I'm happy to play you Wham, but not in September. Although in the shops they have got Christmas stuff. So God, I wouldn't want to work in a shop now because they start playing all the Christmas songs, wouldn't they?
Well, I think I definitely saw some mince pies out, and I've already done a couple of Christmas photo shoots, started back in August. And we did have Christmas songs on when we were shooting that with one of my clients to get us into that kind of Christmas spirit. Because for me, Christmas does sort of start in August.
Wow.
And to get ahead of the times, taking pictures and creating that video content. So you've got it all in August, ready to pop out for late September, October.
Oh, fantastic. And tell me, did you wear Christmas earrings when you were doing that photo shoot?
I didn't go full on Christmas. No, but we did have Christmas trees, all the lights. It felt Christmassy in the studio, definitely. So.
Fantastic. So did you know today we're international? We've got Kellen Ann joining us all the way from, I think it's America, it might be Canada, but I can't remember. I'm really sorry. You'll need to let us know. And if you're there, what time in the morning are you up? Thank you very much for coming in, Kellen. That's lovely.
Oh.
That's lovely. So Kellen, if that's the case and you don't mind getting up early, maybe you could come on my show one day. That would be fun. So Becky, you've been on my show this is your third time now.
Hat trick.
Yeah, a popular guest. But as I intimated at the beginning of the show, you're also a good friend. So it's always nice to catch up with you. But for those people that don't know you, and probably Kellen doesn't, tell us a little bit about yourself, please, Becky.
Well, I can see in the comments some people are sort of questioning why we're talking about Christmas. So
yeah, what does John know about Christmas? No, John, I totally agree with you, mate. It really is not. It really is not. But then again, a lot of businesses are gearing up for Christmas, and in fact, some of them are busy doing Easter stuff now, aren't they? So, sorry, John.
Sorry. I know.
She's in Georgia. She's in Georgia. That's always on my mind. That is. Sorry.
Right. There's a song in that, Ashley, I'm sure.
There is. Pavel, stop talking about Christmas. This is a summer show.
Let me explain. Okay, so I'm a photographer, and so that's why we were talking about Christmas. So in photography terms and video terms, getting ahead of the game to create your content in advance. In most cases, people aren't, a lot of people aren't thinking about Christmas, but product companies definitely are, because we set up and we create all of our product shots, all of our behind the scenes video. We do that quite a bit in advance. So the lead in time in order to get visible. So for me, Easter starts around about January. So it's all a little bit of a shift in that sort of terms, but I focus particularly on Instagram. I love LinkedIn. I've been on Ashley's course, and that's how I first met Ashley, because I kind of wanted to make LinkedIn much more helpful for my business, and it's really, really helped. You showed me how to find and search out people, how to build those different connections. But Instagram is definitely the place that I'm at, and I do teaching on that, but it comes from the fact that I'm a photographer and I create short form video. And so that's how I run my business. So whether people are coming to a shoot for me or whether I'm teaching them how to use their own mobile phone in order to create that content. You might see in the back here, over here, I've got my phone running at the moment. So I'm creating content at the moment as we speak. This will be a little time lapse that we're putting out. And this is how I want to try and make it really easy. You'll see this over on Instagram later. Creating that content using your mobile phone, being able to combine that with professional photos really helps people to move their business on, and that content creation doesn't always have to take an awful long time. As you know, Ashley, you can do it while doing other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing, right? We talk about photos and videos and stuff like that. You see people with expensive cameras, you see people hiring superstars like yourself to come and do stuff, and like you say, it's quite easy to just do a quick selfie. Look, you've got me doing it now, but
Yeah.
but I can post that selfie later, and this that can go on my Instagram. It would go on my story.
It could go on your story. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
It could go on your Pinterest if you use Pinterest. It could go on TikTok if you're doing short form video. It could go on your LinkedIn as part of the behind the scenes. So it's trying to get savvy with making one piece of content that goes in lots of different directions, because ultimately we're all business owners. So we don't really want to be doing any of it, a lot of it all the time. We want to focus on our business. But we have to find it's a method of marketing, a method of communicating, promoting, marketing yourself as a business owner, and using these free channels is a fabulous way to do it.
Brilliant. And so what could I have done to make that photo better?
Well, we could have talked about lighting. We can talk about where you could stand ideally. I kind of feel that there are three types of photographs that you need. So you need your professional images. You need your hero shots on your website, on your LinkedIn banner, your profile pictures, things like that. So having your photograph taken by a professional, you'll have a collection of images that you can go back and constantly use. But in addition to that, you need to be able to get comfortable using your mobile phone. So learning about lighting, learning how to use that mobile phone, setting it up maybe on a tripod, using as much natural light as possible, anything that you can do. Also, like getting comfortable with taking a multitude of photographs. So you took that picture, because we're live, probably took it quite quickly. I think it less than maybe 10 seconds you had that up there. But if I was going to take a picture of me or a group of people, or if I was going to an event and I was going to use my mobile phone, I would definitely be spending time thinking about where would be the best place for these people to stand, and directing, taking control of that photograph. But in terms of a quick snap, sometimes that is enough to be able to lend that idea, as you say, on Instagram stories. It's short snap, quick picture, quick video to show your behind the scenes. And that kind of rough and ready, authentic piece definitely works really well. And then the third kind of photographs or videos that you want to use is repurposing. And that's like your reviews. So when somebody takes a picture of yourself, like you've taken of me, I'll be looking for that picture so that I can reshare it. If you have a restaurant or a hotel, or when you do some of your gigs, you will find that people will take pictures of you and they will reshare it, and they'll be saying, oh, I'm having a great coffee here, I'm having delicious cake, I've come to Ashley's event, or they've taken a screen grab maybe of when you've done some of your workshops online, and all you've got is this kind of Zoom screen of people, but yet that in itself shows that they had a good time. I enjoyed this, I learned this from Ashley. Then resharing that photo, it's not going to win any awards, but it's going to give you your recommendation and your testimonial. So those are the kind of three types of pictures that you need in your business, I find. And Instagram's a great way of sharing that, as is LinkedIn. But Instagram's definitely got lots of variations of where you can put things.
I love that. And that was the thing. So I took a behind the scenes photo just then I'm in front of a big window and I've got a bank of lights here, so I'm well lit. And because I took the photo from behind me, that's not going to be a very good sort of photo. We've got a couple of other people coming in and saying hello. We got Fidosi, so hi. And I don't know who OG Digitals are, but hi to you too. Thank you for coming along. What are the biggest misconceptions with people and their mobile phones?
I think that
compared to a camera.
Well, they think that they can't take a good picture, or rather they don't value the photographs that can be achieved with their mobile phone. I posted a photo 3 days ago on Instagram. It was a picture of a person, this big blue sky behind them. They were looking down. That was taken on a mobile phone. It had something like 35 likes and comments and things on it. I've equally taken photographs on my camera, on my kit. My kit probably, I don't know, somewhere in the region of £10,000 to £15,000 is probably all the kit that I've used. If I add all the lighting and all the kit in, if I set something up, that's going to be a great picture. I'm going to have total control over it. Is one better than the other? Yeah, probably. But also, it depends about the purpose. I think you've always got to start with your photos and your video. What is my message? What am I trying to say here? And so your mobile phone can say so much more. If it's a case of learning how to use a professional camera, or using your mobile phone in order to capture an image, capture a video that you can then share with your audience, I would definitely go down the route of use your mobile phone, because they've come on so much compared to you going out, buying all the kit that you want, or even semi-professional photography kit, and then learning how to use it. So maybe go on a 12-week course. Then you're going to get a bit flustered when you start to use it, because it's not going to be as quick and easy. Then you've got to download it, edit it on your computer, adjust it, put it to wherever it is you want. So straight away, there's quite a few barriers there. Whereas if you use your mobile phone, you've done it. And like you say, you'll probably post that this afternoon. And so for your purpose of you communicating with your image, that is probably good enough right now. Having that combined, you've got some professional shots as well. You know how to use your video. You've got all your mics. You've got, good audio, particularly with video, is probably of equal importance to the actual video itself. So I would say have a go. Anyone who's not sure about using their mobile phone, have a go. Get comfortable using it. Take as many pictures as you like. Practice in different lights, in different natural lights, using lights and things, and you'll be surprised at how much you can achieve.
Fantastic. And there's an Apple and an Android divide, and that's fine. I'm not going to go down that route. But when Apple were doing their marketing for their last new phone, they hired in some amazing photographers and did some proper photography just to show that the camera can be used for that sort of stuff. It's quite amazing, isn't it? And I think it's just like you say, having a go. And the other thing is, right, when I look at these photos, I'm looking on Instagram, I'm looking on my phone anyway. So I'm only going to see a small image. It's not as if I'm blowing it up to be on a big screen or on a big canvas or anything like that. So again, I guess it doesn't matter so much, does it?
Well, this is what some people say, that so I do like a smartphone photography training session, and they say, I'm just I'm basically training them to take better photos to use on their Facebook or their Instagram or their LinkedIn. Fine. But the quality of the image that you're taking is in the region of, in most cases, if your phone's like a year or so old, it's 15 megapixels, which means basically you could blow it up to go on the side of not quite the side of a bus, half a bus, the back of a bus.
Yeah.
With the quality of your picture, you take that, it's big enough. So in most cases, if you're using it, I don't know, in a brochure, an A4 brochure, anything like that, it's definitely good enough quality. So you don't need to worry about that kind of quality at all. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So for those of us that have access to digital cameras, and I can't think of the last time I used mine, there's an awful lot of settings on them, and you can really do amazing things, f-stops and all that sort of malarkey, which I don't understand, so I won't even go there today. Yeah. Can I do any of that on my mobile phone?
You can change your mobile phone. You can download an app called Manual Auto, and you can adjust it so you manually adjust your phone if you want to. But even just in your regular settings of your phone, when you pull up your camera and you start to take a picture, in there you can adjust the exposure. You can set up your timer so that you can take a really good picture of yourself, a selfie, even though you count down on the timer. You've got your hands free, you've got your camera in front of you, you can do all of that. You can then go through and you can edit the pictures all on your mobile phone too. If you choose to put them into Instagram, there's some editing functionality in there. If you take a landscape picture, like you did a moment ago, and you want to use it on your story, you're going to crop it to portrait, you can do that in your phone. You can just crop and adjust. So all of that is in there.
There really is no excuse for having photos in your posts, is there?
I would always say that. I would, when you're out and about, when you're taking your video content, like I say, we're recording some video at the moment. This will be used, chopped up into 3 or 4 different reels, probably for Instagram. But when you're out and about your general day to day, taking some snippets of video, 10-second videos, equally can be used in your content. You then put your hook, so what it is that you're trying to hook people into, in the caption in your Instagram, you give them the answer. Tell people about your transformation. So using that kind of video, not having to sort of think too much about setting up things, that kind of reach is really good on Instagram. I think it works less on LinkedIn. I think it's better if you do like a piece to camera on LinkedIn and you explain something in the same way as you would a post. I think that works really well. That's what you tell me anyway.
Yeah, and again, it's trial and error, seeing what works, seeing what you enjoy. So video then. Video, I see you've got a tripod.
Yep.
Is it always, should you always have a tripod?
Well, this one is a bendy tripod, so I can wrap it around things. It's got bendy legs. Great for wrapping around street furniture, trees, things like that. There we go. One like that, you can wrap it around things. That's super easy. It means that you can do a piece to camera as well. I've got a little microphone that I attach into it and clip onto my lapel so that I get really good audio. Sometimes I'll just do a straight piece to camera. Sometimes I will hold it and it will be a bit wobbly, and you'll see those on my stories. Tripods are just helpful so that you have your hands free and you can position yourself in front of like some good lights. So tripods, I think, is a really good basic piece. You could have like a ring light as well, to give you some light when it's a little bit darker. But yeah, that kind of kit is definitely the starting point. I do often have a tripod in my arsenal.
And the other thing is, with a tripod, you can actually use it like this, and then you've got a selfie stick as well, which I suppose helps.
And should be above as well. You know, we like to get rid of our kind of
yeah.
So you look up.
all of my chins. That's a great top tip, that is. So what about framing? Because when I take a photo, I like to get in a bit closer. My daughter goes, "You're too close, Dad, you're too close." And especially obviously with the wedding, we didn't get the full dress. What's your take on that? My thinking is getting a bit closer, because when I put it on, LinkedIn, people can see the bit that counts. So from my head to my belly button, supposedly. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it depends what you're trying to say with that photograph. So if you were trying to talk about yourself, and what you're talking about is having basically your headshot. So having different headshots wearing different clothes. And if I do a branding shoot with someone, middle of the summer, I'm like, you need to bring some woolly jumpers, your coat. We need to make sure we've got a collection of clothes so that when you post that headshot in the middle of December, you haven't got, a strappy t-shirt, or, you look like it's part of that day. So that's the message that they're talking about. This is happening today. In reality, that picture could have been shot in the hottest day, it could have been shot last week in the hottest day of the year. It's not really about that. It's the photos in that frame. You want to be deciding what the message is you want to talk about. And so you're talking about having your headshots. Yeah, definitely. Having a bit of a longer shot. I do think there's a myth that some people don't have their like full body shot. And you think, well, we all see each other so often on screen. It'd be great to see a whole person, wouldn't it? So And what's in the background of there? I'm always thinking, what's in the background? What would you choose? What are you trying to talk about beyond just that one thing? And so it might be sharing, I don't know, a hobby or an interest that you have that then helps you to connect with your audience, because we're all just people trying to find things to talk to each other about. And so if you're parked up next to, I don't know, a brilliant car, and you're on a racetrack and you've got the helmet and all the rest of it, or you're stood on a beach in the paddleboard, there's two different kinds of people that you're going to attract. They might have one person that likes both of those hobbies, but hey, you know, it gives you something to talk about. And so also taking those shots from below the waist, if you have dogs, so you might want to be talking about your dog. I'm out dog walking. So there's different things for different kind of occasions, I think. And in terms of framing, generally you're looking at thirds. So we've got landscape here at the moment. If I shuffle over one side, I'm on 1/3 effectively. So you're trying to dissect that, meaning this side over here is empty space. So for photograph terms, it works a bit better like that. Just a quick guide. There's lots to talk about with framing.
There absolutely is, isn't there? So that's a more interesting image. I've just moved, if you're listening on the podcast, you can see both of my guitars today.
Yes, there you go. That is a much interesting image. Yeah, if you go in front of the microphone, you've got your two guitars, and then it's like, okay, that's something I can talk to Ashley about. He obviously likes guitars, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So you teach all of this normally. How can people get this learning from you? Because this is fascinating, and we've just scratched the surface, haven't we?
So I do stuff online. I've got a workshop coming up shortly in a couple of weeks with yourself, Ashley.
I was going to come to that, but if obviously not that one. But what other workshops do you do?
So I do workshop. People either they approach me and I go into a business. So I might go into like an ad agency or a solicitor's, or I went into a care home. And so I taught their staff how to take their photographs, how to set them up in situ. So you do like a live shoot and a live piece of video, and it's how to combine that all together so that you've got a month or more's worth of content that you will create in that day. So we do section on photography, section on video, then we bring it all together, we edit it, and you go away with pieces of content that you can create. So businesses bring me in. Otherwise, I do individual workshops. So I do those online or I do them in person, and I advertise those. If you're part of my newsletter, then you get to know about all of those in advance, or I do them collaboratively with people like yourself. And
so what have we got coming up?
We have got our social media summit coming up Tuesday, the 26th of September.
And you're going to be showing people how to take photos and do videos in that session.
Exactly. I'm going to talk about Instagram. I'm going to start off and I'm going to talk about how you do your photographies, how you create your content, and then we're going to divide the day up so that we've also got how that then is worked on LinkedIn or in Instagram. Then you're going to talk about podcasting and audio because you've done so many live shows. And then we're going to wrap up and we're going to talk about networking. I run an Exeter creative network, so that's been running for just over a year. And so many different creative and entrepreneurial businesses have come into that and got work from it as well, because we're all sharing our ideas. So those two things are coming together, and we're hosting our social media summit in Exeter on the 26th of September. And it's the only live session that I'm doing this September. I didn't do any in August. So if you want to work with me directly, that's going to be the best way to find out more. And of course, at the end of the day, we're also networking. So you can pick my brains to find out more of that sort of detail as to how you can apply that to your own business more effectively.
Fantastic. Very important question. Food.
We're giving food away, aren't we? Well, we're not. Yeah, we're giving food as
lunch is included, and there will be cake. There will be cake. Who's it for? If you're watching or listening on the podcast, who's it for? Who would it be best suited for?
Well, it's an in-person event in Exeter. So we're a couple of hours from London. So it's people who would be happy to come to a live workshop. I think being in the room with other businesses helps. It's for small, micro or small business owners. We have got some people who are part of bigger organizations as well coming along, who are part of the marketing and comms team. But it's particularly aimed at small business owners who want to learn how to grow their business, how to increase their sales using social media. And whichever platform that is, whether they're across all the platforms, whether they're a bit stuck on one platform and need help with another, it might be somebody who wants to start their own podcast or YouTube channel. It might be someone who's brilliant at Instagram, but actually needs some help with their LinkedIn because they want to develop their professional sides of things. So it's small business owners who are interesting, savvy, and really switched on to wanting to move their business forward, but are a little bit stuck at the moment with some of those areas.
Awesome. And what are they going to get out of it? What's going to be their takeaways, Becky?
Well, it's not going to be a session where they come in and sit down and absorb all this information. I don't know about you.
Perish the thought. Could you imagine how boring that would be?
I've been to so many events and some really lovely events, but I've probably got an attention for about 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes, I'm like switched on. I know what I want. I'm listening. I'm writing notes. Anything sort of beyond that time, I get a bit fidgety, and then I start talking to the person next door, and I might get up and take some photos and just wander around, and my mind is distracted because it is sort of so much information. So the way this session works is different. The way this workshop runs is slightly different. We're only going to talk for 15 to 20 minutes. And then the other half of our workshop is practical. So people are going to be making videos. They're going to be using their photos. They're going to be actually adjusting their LinkedIn profile so that they come away in that day, they have all of those things done. So although they will have, you call it mic drop moments, they will have lots of moments where they can write down and jot down things. It is a practical session. So it's about people who want to take action now, really, so that they can move their business for the end of the year is what we're aiming it for. It's talking about that and how you can move forward. We've also got a workbook that they will be able to go through. So if there is too much information, they will be able to work through the workbook at the same time as we're talking and they're doing. Then they'll be able to come back to the workbook when they've left and put more of those into action. Have I missed anything?
Don't think so, really. That's absolutely brilliant. It sounds awesome. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun, isn't it? It's not going to be one of these boring sessions, and we're going to be bouncing around doing these 5 different areas just to help people.
I was going to say there is networking, of course, which is super valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Mix with other business owners from all walks of life. Yeah, absolutely. And it's in the hall in Exeter, which is up Stepcote Hill, so very close to parking. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be absolutely fun.
We also looked at the timing. So we're running it to hopefully fit in with school hours, kids pickups, drop-offs, looking after family members, all of those things. We've run sessions like this before, haven't we? Independently. And we hear what people want. I know that there has been some questions about whether it's going to be held live so that it can be streamed everywhere. That's going to be phase 2. We aren't doing that at the moment. You have to come in person in order to get all of this information and have everyone in the room together.
Right. Most important question. What earrings will you be wearing?
Oh, well, the person who makes my earrings, which are from Tula, today's earrings anyway, Tula and the Whale, but most of them, is actually coming to the session. She's actually attending the workshop.
Oh, how cool is that?
I know. So I'm gonna liaise with her. I'm gonna ask her what she suggests, whether I have like a new pair for each session, so maybe 5 different pairs. I don't know. Yet to consider.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Or maybe an Instagram one and a LinkedIn one and get the balance right.
Exactly. I wonder if she could make me some specifically for that.
That would be cool. So that has flown by. Thank you so much for coming on. One top tip for someone to take away with their mobile phone today. Go on. What are you going to end today's show with, Becky? What pearl of wisdom?
I would say one top tip that I would have is go out and try. There was a time where I couldn't take a photograph. I couldn't get it in focus. I wasn't happy with it. The framing was wrong. It was wrong. But the only way that I got better is by doing it. So by doing it and doing it and doing it, you know, that 10,000 hours, keep taking photos. If you like taking pictures of your dog, of your kids, of your landscapes, of things in your business, I would say whatever the thing is that you're stuck with, take more pictures of that until you get to this place where you are comfortable, because everyone's a photographer, everyone's an artist inside. It's just trying to find your comfortable place with it. Yeah.
I love that. That's absolutely brilliant. And the thing is, right, when I first started taking photos, I used film. And so as soon as you've got rid of 36 exposures, that's it. You've got to send that away, and it costs loads of money.
Yes.
I can take 36 exposures in no time at all. So no, perfect. Becky, you've been an amazing guest. Looking forward to the 26th. Thank you everybody for your lovely comments and Christmas jokes. And I'm not sure if there's a show next week because I'm away on the Tuesday. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put one in on the Monday, but if not, I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much indeed. Cheerio.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna